Check, please.
Welcome to Everything Money. In this video, you will learn about the Chinese stocks JD.com and Tencent. We will talk about their relationship with each other, Tencent's relationship with both Naspers and Process, things that we learned from our interview with Monish Pabrai. We'll go over the financials and our outlook moving forward on these Chinese companies. I bring your questions about JD and Tencent to a couple guys that own and operate over $100 million in real estate, multiple businesses, and stocks, and they'll help you and I come up with a mindset and approach of whether we should invest in these Chinese companies. I give you Paul and Mo.
All right, thanks, Seth. So guys, remember to follow us on Instagram, Everything Money Investing, and follow Seth, Mo, and I personally as well, because we have great content that I think I'm going to get an award for later on this year.
Yes, I would think so, yes.
So JD.com. JD is like this online marketplace, China's second largest e-commerce company after Alibaba in terms of transaction volume. Okay, so just like Alibaba, big fall since February. JD was at $107 a share, and now it's at 68, so about a 40% fall. Mostly driven by the concerns over regulations and fines and taxes by the Chinese government. So it's a $106 billion market cap. Just to skip to our 8 pillars tab, just to talk about it. So this is our 8 pillars tab. Valuations are through the nose. But again, guys, this is probably a fast growing company, so you should be willing to pay a higher valuation for the company than other ones. And the 5-year return on invested capital isn't that far off. And the shares outstanding, let's go look at those shares outstanding to see, is it consistent? They were decreasing. Now it's going up a little bit. Okay, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So right now, everybody knows I'm still a fan of Alibaba. I've been buying it as it's fallen through the floor. I started buying at 184 and now it's 120 something. I don't know what it's at. But they have, look at JD. Net income growth, revenue growth, everything you want to see, free cash flow growth. So it's all there. They don't pay a dividend. So why are JD and Tencent in the news, guys?
Yeah, Paul. So Tencent was buying JD in 2014 to sort of help compete with Alibaba. Walmart is a big holder of JD as well. And then basically last week, recently, Tencent sold off its position, or at least a large part of its position in JD, distributing $16.5 billion out to its shareholders as a dividend. So obviously, the sentiment around JD fell, the sentiment around Tencent went up, and so they're coinciding with each other. Mo, what do you think about JD?
Online shopping is getting bigger. I don't think that Tencent pulling the plug on them, and I mean, they still said that we still have a good relationship with them. We're just not going to be invested in them anymore. I don't think this is the worst thing in the world. I think the reaction was dramatic. I think it's going to come back up. But I think Tencent is very good at what they do. That's what we're seeing. So I think they have their reasons for it. And I think JD will still dominate in that space in China for a very long time.
Paul, getting into Tencent, we obviously interviewed Monish Pabrai. If you guys haven't seen the 4-part interview, it's incredible. And he has been talking about Tencent for a long time. Many people were rationalizing his sale of Alibaba and that he was getting into Tencent. His holdings have not become public as of yet, but I'm guessing they'll show that he bought that. But Paul, I did some research on this, and for you guys at home, there's this weird entrance into Tencent, Paul, through the company Naspers, a South African company, and then this company Process is a Dutch company on the Dutch exchange. I was talking to one of our community members today, and he was giving me some information on this. But in essence, Paul, I think for normal people out there, trying to get into Tencent via these other companies, I guess Monish Pabrai is obviously a very smart man, but I mean, getting in through Naspers or Process, people are saying both these companies are kind of, I guess the sentiment is maybe a little wishy-washy. But Paul, this Process that the Monish was talking about is basically their stake in Tencent is worth more than their company's market cap. Yeah, so it's like you're getting this discounted avenue into Tencent. But in the end, Paul, I just got too confused. Maybe this is more of a sphere of, what is it, Paul? A sphere of competency where it's really, It's probably over my head as a new investor. What do you think?
It's
Mo, what do
interesting.
you think?
No, it's interesting you say that, Paul. I've never heard of this until this China stuff came around, where people were really interested in buying other companies because they own other companies, and it's a cheap way to get into an investment. Paul, have you heard that before?
So are you talking about Chinese companies or companies in general?
I have not heard of this except for these Chinese companies. So this is the first time I'm hearing of it. Have you heard about this in U.S. companies?
I remember back in the day when, if you read Snowball, Warren Buffett, I think it was his Blue Stamp, his stamp company. They had a great portfolio of stocks that were worth a huge chunk, if not the entire market cap of the company. And that wasn't even appearing on the books because it appeared on the books at their cost basis and not their market value or things like that. So these are some of the deep dives that a lot of value investors can do when companies have marketable securities. But now the IRS requires you to mark to market these assets, but the SEC and IRS requires that. But remember, these are South African and Dutch companies. Exactly. I don't know what the rules are there. So the rules there are just you have to report it at cost basis. Then that's probably why it's there like that. And that's why Monish might have found this, jewel out there. For me personally, I'm more focused on my value side is more about buying a cash flow business that's mispriced. So it's not exactly my cup of tea there to go sit there and say, oh, well, they have this a stake in a company. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do that. But for me, I'm okay sticking to the VIE structure here in the US on Alibaba and not dealing with the process and the Naspers companies overseas.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my take too, Paul. I just think it gets if it gets a little too confusing, I'm probably, like the Shark Tank, I'm out. I don't think it's for me. So I literally said to myself, well, this is why Monish is this is a guy who's doing it all day. He's got analysts, and I'm just some guy here in Ohio fiddling my thumbs trying to make that cheddar. So I'm just going to stick to my ETFs, my little book stocks, and go from there. But overall sentiment, Paul, about Chinese about the Chinese companies. These two companies haven't been our favorite. I feel like we're missing out. Tencent's the third largest Chinese company in the world. Paul, do you think you'll ever, Mo, will you guys ever warm up to these two companies? What do you think?
Well, I want to first do Stock Analyzer tool on JD just to see where it stands. Because remember, JD is a fast growing company. So I want to make sure that we're not missing something on the growth side of it. Does that make sense?
Go ahead.
So here's our Stock Analyzer tool, very popular with all of our, because guys, every investment's a present value of all future cash flow. And we don't know the future. So we have to make assumptions about that. This tool allows you to make your assumptions and tell you what you need to pay for the company today. So I'm just going to run through this. I'm going to do 15, 20, and 25% revenue growth. I'm going to do profit margin of 2.25. No, actually 2.25, and 2.5. Free cash flow margin of 2.75, 3.25, and 3.75. PE, 14, 16, 18, 14, 16, 18 on the free cash flow. And then 12.5% return because, guys, you can invest in an ETF and get 9 or 10%. So give yourself margin of safety to buy an individual stock. Hit the analyze button. What do we got here, guys?
Look at that.
Got a lot of green. We got a low value about $60, a middle value about 90 to 130, so call it 110, and then a high value of 150 to 233. So for those of you who have Alibaba, maybe you're buying JD along with it because one of them is probably going to do very, very, both of them could probably do well, but if one surpasses the other, you'll probably still do very well, buying only one and having the other.
If you want the software behind Paul, you can grab it and he will show you how it can help you make better financial decisions. Go ahead, Paul, take it away.
So guys, we made this software because we got so many requests from our subscribers saying, hey, how do I analyze my own stocks without having to wait for you guys? So we said, okay, let's just invest hundreds of thousands of dollars and do this. So we created our software. It includes everything you saw already. It's all in a mobile app. So it's already ready for your mobile phone, fully ready to go. You've got all the 8 pillars, retirement calculator, stock analyzer tool, 8-pillar portfolio, exclusive daily content. 1 to 3 videos per day from Seth, Mo, and I, only for the subscribers of our software. Plus, you get everything here that's coming soon. This is all coming soon. Get it all here, available for you. But most importantly, The biggest thing you get is we have a community of over 6,000 people who use our software every single day. You can talk to them about all your investment ideas because a lot of our users felt alone thinking about investments a certain way. And that's why they gravitated to our channel. But now it allows them to go talk about any investment ideas, including crypto, with people in the community, bounce ideas off each other, make all the decisions you want. And this is all for only $1 per day. $1 per day gets you all of this. If you can increase your returns by 1 or 2% a year, or decrease your losses by 1 or 2% a year, it will lead to hundreds of thousands, if not actually millions of dollars in extra net worth for you for only $1 per day. So 2 ways to sign up, everythingmoney.com or Patreon. The benefit of everythingmoney.com is we aren't big enough yet to charge a sales tax, so you'll save on the sales tax for quite a while. So again, guys, $1 per day, sign up, everythingmoney.com.
And if you want to trade these companies at a quicker pace, you can join Mo in the Bitnast Nation. Mo, let's go over JD. Show me the chart for JD and how you might trade this stock.
So guys, the reason I like trading JD is the translation. It's first of all, it's not on the OTC. That's what I like about it. It's on the NASDAQ. So over-the-counter stocks are not for me, and that's what Tencent is. So right now, they have been beaten down just like every other Chinese company. But what I do like is these are pretty nice trends that it tends to catch, and it takes about 1 month for those to happen. So I would come over here, maybe throw a tracker share on it or put it on a tight watch list and just wait for this red and yellow line to move into the sweet spot. I do think that you'll be able to get some kind of great movement like this. And I think that this will come up here to this 84, 86 range. Now, it's not going to be the easiest of paths because you have to get through 4 major moving averages, but it is doable. I think that when JD, historically, when they tend to make a move, they make a move throughout the entire stochastic. So we're seeing from a long-term chart, I really like this. I like the stocks that go all the way through the stochastic, then come all the way back down. They don't go up and come back down and up and come back down in the middle of the sweet spot. Not many sweet spot reversals. So this is a great looking stock from a long-term perspective. Definitely put it on a watch list. And if you want to swing trade it, just swing it up to these moving averages. And I think you'll do well with this one. But as far as Tencent goes, avoid that one. The way the data gets translated over is a little bit different, and you get these gaps all over the place. Also, it's OTC. I don't love OTC, as you guys know. So if you want to learn these rules of how to trade, come and join me in the Bitnast Nation. You'll get access to all of the trading rules in the Trading 101 series, which is a series of videos that gives you everything that you need to know to be successful. The Employed Trader series, which is 6 stocks that I go through every single day and update you on and do the legwork for you. You get my Saturday monthly seminars, 1 Saturday a month. I do an open Q&A session to only the Bitnast Nation to work out the kinks and questions that they have. And the chat community of 950 plus people, come and join us and you'll do very well.
We will keep you updated on both companies. If we fall in love with them, we'll let you know. For now, we're sticking with our love for Alibaba, but we'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Join the community. You will love it. We'll see you next video.